Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini and today I like to do a Cape buffalo head. This is a very interesting animal. It's one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. And I'm going to show you how to do that from start to finish. I'll rotate it so you can see it from all the different angles. And I do want to mention that I did hit a significant milestone today. I'm doing my 200th show for Mansfield Cable Access. And it's been over like a 10-year period, so it's been a very enjoyable experience. And thank you for watching. I want to show you the types of clay that we can use. There's oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And what I loved about this, I used it all the time as a kid, is when I got bored with all the stuff that I made, I just roll it up in a ball and make something new. There's also an air-hardening clay, such as this, which, you know, after a couple of hours or overnight, it will harden, and you can paint it. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the oven about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. So you can drill it, sand it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail. What's great about this clay is it never hardens until you actually fire it in the oven. I'll show you the size balls of clay we'll be using today. What we're going to do is I have this size ball here for the actual head and body. And then I got this ball right here for this. That's going to make the horns out of on top of the head. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the shape of the head and things. So we're going to take this and just going to do that. Let's see, just got to shape it the right way. And let's see. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of tap this on the table a little bit. And so get that. See how I flatten that out nicely? You can see it better from that angle. So now we're going to proceed to make this portion here is going to be the neck, but then we're working on the head right now. So I'm just working on that. And so I'm trying to make the nose area right now. So I'm kind of pulling that out like that. So it So see how, I'll show you what we've done so far. See how I'll rotate that around so you can see it. See how with that, we're trying to make the snout. Then we've got the head here. Okay, so that's really coming along nicely. And then for this here, I'm just going to pinch this a little bit at the top. See that right there? And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So see how we did that? I can rotate that around a little bit so you can see it. I pinch a little bit at the bottom like that. So now we're good that way. Just going to flatten that out a little more. And we're good. Okay, so I want to compare it to my other model. And it's approximately the right size. See that? Size and shape-wise. It's coming along nicely. So I'm going to put that down. And we got that. So now I got a little bit of clay here. I'm just going to add a little bit more up here. Add a little clay there. So I did that. want to make sure I got that right. See, I wanted less of a, add a little clay there to kind of make it that shape there. That way it wasn't sloping too much. So we got that. And what I'm trying to do is continue to work on the head. The next thing that we want to do is I want to try to do like the horns. See these right here? The horns on top of the head? The curved horns? We're going to take and we're going to start to work on those. So, what I'm going to do is I can roll it out here a little bit, like this. And now, you start to make the point. See this? Make the point on one side, then I'll make the point on the other. Just kind of keep working it, so making it a little pointy. So what I'm doing is doing that. So I'm starting to curve the horn. See that? So I'm taking that point, kind of moving it like that. And then we'll do the same on the other side. See that? And I'm just gonna see that? Pretty cool. Just in a few minutes we made a nice set of horns that we can put in the head of the Cape buffalo head. So now what I want to do is we're going to place it approximately right there. So now what I want to do is I want to take my sculpting tools and I want to make sure I attach these so they don't come off. So on this side here, I'm going to take the ball of the tool right here and just kind of work that in a little bit. See how we're doing that? I want to make sure that that's firmly attached. Then we'll kind of make a slight indentation up here. But then we're going to also, I want to make sure this is firmly attached up here. So we're going to take the ball and work that in like that. Work that a little bit. Then I'm going to take the ball and work it a little bit on this side too, underneath. Make sure that that's, see I'm doing that? Want to make sure it's attached under there too. Okay. It's really coming along nicely. Just gonna Okay, yeah, it's looking good. Just gonna curve these a little more, have them a little more curved. Just working that. See that? It's coming along real nice. So the next thing that we want to do is I want to work on the ears. So we have some ears. See these here? I'm just going to point to them. I'm going to work on making the ears right here. And we're going to attach those to the side of the head. So what I'm going to do, get a little piece of clay. I'll show you roughly the size we want. I'll put this in my hand. You want roughly that size right there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. We're going to take this and we're going to make the shape of the ear. So flatten it out like this. And then, see the shape I'm making? So I'm just going to go around with my fingers like that. So that's the shape that you want to make right there. So we're going to do the same for the other side. So flatten out like this. See how I'm flattening? And then take and make that shape. I want to make sure they're approximately the same size. So see how I'm going around like that? Want to see. So see that? So it's coming along nicely. So I'm going to take my thumb and kind of push that in and make a slight indentation inside the ear by doing this. See that? Made a slight indentation by pushing my thumb into it. And we'll do the same with the other one. Now what I also would like to do is I'm going to take the tool and just kind of pull this down a little bit. See that? I'm going to make it look somewhat a little like shredded. I want to rough it up a little bit so it doesn't look so pretty. See that? And now we'll do the same to the other side on the other one. And we'll do that. And then what I'm going to do is, like I said, I want to have a slight indentation in here. So take the ball of the sculpting tool, which is called the stylus, just kind of do that like that. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side. want to make the indentation a little more pronounced. See that? So now the next thing that we want to do, I want to take a look at my other model. So now, the horns, I'm just going to kind of pull those a little back like that. See that? If I flip it this way, you can kind of see how I'm pulling those a little back. And then what I'm going to do is I'll push those up a little bit. I'm going to try to place the ears right there. So see, I'm kind of taking the tool right here and doing that, and then I'll go in from the other side also. I want to make sure it's firmly attached. See that? And we're going to do the same for the other side. Okay. Want to make sure. Want to make sure that's nice and firmly attached. Then I want to go in from the other side too, just to make sure. See that? Go in behind there like that. You want to make sure that's attached. See, he's really starting to come along nicely. Very happy the way he's turning out. And so now, let's see, I want to make the eyes. So we're going to make them approximately right there. See that? So what I'm going to do, we'll make that eye a little bigger with the stylus. So I'm pushing that in like that. Then we'll do the same on the other side. And then I'll try to make it a little bigger. See how I'm doing that? Just taking the stylus and just kind of opening up a little bit. See that? And now I'm going to try to work on the mouth area a little bit. So we're going to take this right here and kind of push that in like that to kind of make the mouth. See that? And I'm going to try to open that up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take this and kind of work this in a little bit like that. Kind of make a little indentation. Then I'm going to pinch this a little bit with my fingers. See that? So just gonna pinch that a little bit, bring it down a little bit. So now what I'm gonna do, and what I also want to do is, because when I fire this in the oven, I just want to kind of make a little hole in the back of the throat here with this. So I'm kind of going in like that. And that way, when I do fire it, I'm going to also make some holes back here too. So 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I did that? That way, when this clay, when it fires in the oven, if you do that, it allows some of the gases to escape from the clay, so it won't end up cracking if you do that. So now the next thing that I want to do, we want to work on the nose a little bit. So I'm going to take the stylus, kind of go in like that a little bit. See that? I just did that. And now what we're going to do is take this, and we'll go in like that, and we'll kind of go like this. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And what I'm going to try to do is wiggle this around a little bit, make that a little bigger. See that? See how the nose? It's coming along really nicely. The next thing that we want to do is, I do want to work on the eyes. I just want to make sure yep, those look good. So now what I'm going to do is just take a little ball of clay off of here. Let me see, I'll get a couple of them. Don't want to make them too big, but I'll show you the size that we're looking at. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to turn my hand a little more. See those little balls there? We're going to take those and we're going to stick them into the area that we made like that. Then I'm going to put it right in there. See that? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little piece of clay. We're going to make the eyelids. So I'm going to take a couple of pieces of clay here. Get a little ball. Think of a banana. We're going to roll this into the shape of like a banana. And I'll try to hold that so you can see it. See that? Think of a banana. And then we're going to take that and put that up above to create the upper eyelid. See that? And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make the little banana. That's the simplest shape that I can think of that it would. And then we're going to take that and we're going to create the upper eyelid and put it right there. And then we're going to create the lower eyelids. And make those like a little shape of banana also. And So roll that like that. And you put that for the lower eyelid. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Roll that little banana. Then you're going to place that under like that. See how we did that? It's really starting to take shape now. And then the, just want to make sure everything looks roughly the way it should. So the lower mouth, I'll start to close that up a little bit again. See that? We'll do that. Now, the next thing that we want to do is I do want to create some texture. So for the horns and above the head, I'm going to take this stylus and just kind of tap it a little bit like that. See, I just kind of make little indentations. Just want to make sure I put that little indentation in the center. See how we're just tapping that going around? See that? That's really starting to look nice. So now, with this one here, we'll do more of a, I'll just kind of take this, kind of scrape it along the sides like this. See that? They'll give a nice texture for the horns. I'll do the same on that side. See, I'm just bringing that along like that. And you do that. So the next step that we want to do is I want to take, and we kind of want to make fur. So the stylus here, I'm going to take, so I'm going to pinch this a little bit so we can start up there. And on the bottom, I want to pinch that a little bit. But there's also one area I do want to add some clay. I'll show you. I'm going to take a little piece of clay like this. And we're going to add it under the chin, right there. See that, how I'm doing that? Just want to add that. Okay. So now, we're going to take this, we're just going to ever so slightly create the texture of the fur. Just small little strokes like that. So I'm going to go like that. And then down here, we're going to rough that up a little bit, give him a little bit of a chin like that. See that? Then we'll kind of go around the eyes a little bit. See that? Just kind of go around like that. Then do a little bit in the front. Give the nice texture under there for the little chin that we made. It kind of dangles down at the bottom of the mouth like that. Then you come in and around the eyes. And then we also want to take and get the fur up here. See that? Short little strokes. Just go like that. See that? We're just going to take, keep going like that. Get like that. See that? See that nice texture that we made for the fur? We're going to do the same on the other side also. Go like that. And just kind of work it around like that. You know, and we'll go back to the face. I want to make sure we did do enough of the fur there. See that? So I did that all up and around the head. It's amazing how you start with a ball of clay and then you just make it into these simple little shapes and how it can turn out to be something really cool. So you do that. See how that looks? Rotate that up and down. And I'll show you what the final version of the Cape buffalo head should look like. This is what he looks like from the very top. See how when the horns, when I curved them up, I brought them back a little bit. See all the nice texture for the fur along there? See how we did the ears? You rough them up a little bit at the bottom. Makes it look a little more real. See how we did around the eyes, the snout and the nose here? We did the fur. He's got that little chin there with the little piece of fur kind of dangling down. So that's what your final version of the Cape buffalo head should look like. And I'll just rotate that again. That's what it looked like from underneath. And I do want to thank you for coming to the show Creations of Clay today. And I do look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now.